Welcome to Toffee TV, it's the final word. Yes. That's all I'm going to say. I'm made up. Got Hollywood superstar, actor, A-lister, Chris Mason with us.
Not quite A-lister, I wouldn't say, yeah.
Hollywood.
Lives
in Hollywood.
Actor. We'll see, yeah. Lives in Hollywood, is an actor. Goes next to
there you go. It's in Broadchurch soon. Anyway, we digress. Last time you were here, it was like a little group meeting, wasn't it? It was like a group session where we all sat round. Yeah, it was. It was like in Fight Club. You know, we all had the hugs at the end. That was off camera. And all had to cry because of Matt. It was right in the middle of just when everything seemed hopeless. I think I might have even got worse after.
It did, yeah, no, it did. It got a lot worse as soon as I moved away.
So can we blame you?
I'm not going to blame me. I'm going to still blame.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I will always blame the man who earns about 20 million a year from Belgium now.
And 10 million from Everton.
And 10 million from Everton.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
What a life. What a life.
Unbelievable. Anyway, that was then.
Yeah, happier times now. And last night was, second half last night was just boss. It was really just enjoyable to watch. And what was frustrating first half is you could tell first half that all we needed to do was just do a couple of little things and that would happen. And luckily enough, we've got the kind of manager who does that, Baz.
Yeah, are we starting at the beginning or are you just going straight to the second half?
No, I'm just gonna just
gonna.
Koeman's just.
He's great. At the moment. You see, I'm bad now because I remember when the first season under Martinez we were made up.
I want to stay professional when it comes to Ronald Koeman.
No, I think the thing about him is there's a very big difference in the two characters, obviously, between Martinez and Koeman, in terms of honesty. You know, I heard some unbelievable post-match interviews over the last 3 years, and this time, even taking last night aside, the stuff he's come out with already so far this season, he's been quite clear. I'm not happy with this. We're not fit enough. We need to do this better, even when we've won. And that's a breath of fresh air, isn't it? Just to have an honest manager.
It's amazing. He's like, it's what you want in a manager. Alex Ferguson was always cutthroat. Do you know what I mean? He was always honest about his performance and his players. And like, seeing him, since pre-season starts, and he goes live about Nias and McGibbon, made a quick decision on them their shit, and we're like, oh yeah, they are shit. We've always thought that as well. Yeah. So to see him do that, and in-game management, he knows if it's not going wrong, it's not going right, and he'll admit that he might have made a mistake in the thing, but he just changes it. It's like Moyes and Martinez, 85 minutes, give someone 3 minutes on the pitch. I mean, like, it was always a pointless substitution, never changed the game. And for him, to see him do that, it's refreshing.
I mean, he done it. We seen that 35 minutes in at West Brom to make it. I mean, that to me was I think that was the moment when it kind of confirmed to me what kind of manager he is, because it's such a tough decision to do. 35 minutes, and a lot of managers would have gone, let's just get to half time, but he just wasn't happy, and he done it then. And last night he made another match changing.
Yeah, I mean the first half. I mean, he brought Coleman back, which was sort of...
I was a bit disappointed, I'll be honest. Not in how Coleman played, because I thought he'd done well, but I just think Holgate, for me, had done well enough.
I think he's the type of manager, he's always going to put his best 11 out. And he knows Seamus Coleman is, he's the Irish captain, he's a leader, he's a quality player, we all know that. Holgate's played brilliant, but he's 19. It's like, he's still a kid.
See, I think he'll play whatever he... if someone's played really, really well before, I think he'll be tempted to keep the same team, but I think, like you just said, he has got that sort of bit. Well, sounds you've played well 2 games, but so what? He's got both sides of him, and that's brilliant because that keeps everyone on the toes. That's like, that means nobody knows, and that helps with the substitutions as well. No one's safe, no one's a guaranteed starter. I mean, again,
isn't that how it should be?
Yeah, of course. Keeps everyone on the toes, and keeps people worrying about the position as well, which is a really big thing. No one should be sure of their place, nobody, and that competition is going to breed. It's going to be better performances, hopefully.
I also think partly with the Coleman decision is he hasn't seen him, has he? He played a couple of pre-season games, but he hasn't seen him in Premier League action up close, and I think that helps him know where we're going in terms of what's available, how to line up and stuff. He's had a look at Holgate now. He's come out and be quite honest and open about Holgate and said he's going to be a player, this kid. Now he's, like you said, the Irish
but also
captain.
he's going to, you know, I think he wants him to be a centre back as well. Like, you know, he's not a right back. He'll cover for that position this year, but you know, you look at it and you know, you've got a right back there who's, you know, class, so you're going to play him. You know what I mean? And I thought Seamus played well considering he's only had 190 minutes. You know what I mean? He just same old Seamus running up and down.
Yeah.
Still there.
But his job was made easy for him by the fact Sunderland are rubbish. But no, but he didn't have to get forward too much, which I think helped him as well. Helped him get through the game. If he'd had to go up and down all game, he would have struggled. But the fact that he didn't help them. But I mean, first half though, I mean, it was very frustrating. I mean, we had the chance, obviously the Bolasie chance, the cross for Lukaku, should have buried it really. Keeper's made a good save, but he could have put it anywhere in that goal. But it was just so frustrating watching players that we've seen before the break who were playing well, just 5 or 10% off. Little passes where you're thinking a little 5-yard easy pass there, and we're in. And it happened every time Ross Barkley got the ball, let's be honest. Morales wasn't great either. The ball was bouncing off Lukaku. Even Bolasie was trying all his little tricks, and he kept on just...
It was rusty, wasn't it? It was like the rusty after international break, kind of like took 40 back. And we were lucky that, as you say, Sunderland just went up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, any other team might have took a couple of goals off us there in that first half because we weren't quite there, but we got away with it, and, you know, that's when...
Yeah, I thought Guy and Gareth Barry were just phenomenal.
It's great, isn't it?
When you're not playing brilliantly, them two just mop up anything, didn't they? They just kept that midfield ticking over, and all those players in front of them. Okay, they weren't playing well, but those two players at the moment are just phenomenal, really.
Stop using that word. I thought Garner was excellent as he has been. Gareth Barry is brilliant anyway, isn't he? People said that to me, that he was really good in the first half, Barry. I thought he was alright. I thought Garner done a lot of covering for me. He got better and better as the game went on, Barry, as he got on the ball a bit more. The first half, I think we did look rusty. It looked like that international break done us no favours at all. We were a little bit all over the place. The Ross Barkley one at the start of the game, he gave the ball away 3 times in about 10 seconds. Tried to drag back, give it away, and got it back, give it away, and then he went charging after the ball, and he was just all over the place. But we had a lot of the ball. We had 65% possession in the first half, because Sunderland did kind of do what we said they may do in the preview, which was they just went, you have it, and we'll just try and hit the foul and Januzaj on the break. And we overplayed at times with them silly little balls, and it was only really the likes of Bolasie. I know he wasn't fantastic in the first half, but he took the game to them every time he got it. They were worried about him, weren't they?
Yeah, he's exciting. I think he's excited himself. You know, when he gets the ball at his feet, he's going. He plays with a big smile on his face. He just loves playing football. Alright, he fell over a couple of times, but at least he looked like he was thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do something to get past them. And obviously then, you know, that cross he put in for Lukaku in the first half,
ball, wasn't it?
Couldn't have been a better ball, and you know, he should score that. He was lucky he got 9 more chances or something in the rest of the game to score, so you know, he was definitely one of the stars of the first half.
I mean, he put one in, the cross every one, low one that they done well to clean. He put one into the back post. And he had to go Morales. He was like that to Morales, because if Morales runs in,
he gets it,
he's got to tap in, and after that Morales did. He made sure he was behind.
He puts loads of percentage balls in the box, doesn't he? They're not like pinpoints. Some of them are some just percentage balls. That's where the likes of Kevin Sheedy and Trevor Steven used to get like 5 to 10 goals a season by being at that back post, just getting the little knock-ins or getting the headers in. That's wingers used to make a living from doing that run. It's gone out of the game now.
If you're playing at 3-4-3-3, when your left wingers got it, your right wingers should be at the back post and vice versa. It shouldn't just be Lukaku and then maybe Barkley trying to get in, or whoever's in that 10. They should be in there. I mean, Coleman and Baines, how many times have Baines crossed it and Coleman scored and things like that, because that's where you need to be. We forced them back. They were typical Moyes for me at the start of his things. They were getting blocks and breaking the game up as much as they could. That Kershaw, or whatever his name was kicking everyone, wasn't he? And,
he had a good first half.
You know, he was influential, wasn't he? But then I think obviously Koeman looked at the break and made the change.
I know, like, people have said Barkley was sort of reactive because of the way they played, but he just didn't do himself any favours, did he? Because every time that one of the problems with Ross is he tries, everything's got to be like super, it's got to be amazing. Like, even in our box, like you were saying, I think he like lost the ball 3 times in our box when he should just be putting his foot through it. And he needs to learn that. And you know, he does look at times like he is learning, but in some games he just needs to go, do you know what, I'm not playing well, I need to get a level, and then we'll go from that. Just get into the game and then start trying to be amazing, then start trying to make your runs and into get passes. Just get into the game, because for the first 15 minutes he looked like he was still playing the last game. That's how slow he was. He was so far off the pace, and it frustrates everyone, because, you know, before the game, it was mad. Before the game they were talking about him in the studio, weren't they? They were bigging him up, and it actually amazed me when they showed his stats and how close he is to Gerrard and Lampard at the same age. So I think that gives you actually a good guide of how well he's doing, and maybe we're getting caught up in it all. But it's in these games we just go.
But I think, for me, I think obviously the England thing, where I'm delighted he didn't go away with England, but that for him is probably a kick in the teeth, because it's the new manager coming in. You want to be in that squad and everything else. I think there's that. I think we were talking last night, and the difference in the right pass between Rooney. Rooney had it at 16. Rooney would know the right pass to make it 16, and I remember him, I've said this before, but I remember him telling 35-year-old Kevin Campbell to go to the corner flag and hold the ball near the end of the game, and he's 16, because it was that know-how, and Rooney would get in great positions, and on his debut against Spurs, he turns in the box and gives it to Pembridge, and he scored. You know, just laid it off, and Ross needs to do that, because he does the trick and the drive brilliantly, but instead of just popping it off and getting it back, he'll try and do another one, or he'll drag it back and slow us down. He was at his devastating best in that first Martinez season, when he just sprinted the one end of the pitch to the other, and that's what teams hate.
I mean, we all know he's got the quality, because we've seen it. He's got a shot on him, he can turn, he can do things that are great, but I think he's just prone to a bad game, and it gets in his head. You know what I mean? He's like almost like a striker in the sense he's a confidence player. I mean, he's very much kind of like, if he hasn't started well in the first 5 minutes, it's tough for him to get anywhere near the game. And the good thing about Koeman is he's just going to take him off. He's not going to wait for him to produce magic.
I think as well, he struggles with the weight of the pass as well. For me, the amount of times he underhits passes is amazing.
I think that's what Chris has just said. It's confidence, that, because what you start doing is when you start, you know yourself, when you play football and you have them games when nothing's going, the things you normally do aren't working, so the normal pass becomes an effort, so you're trying to make sure it gets there. Deulofeu does exactly the same. He tries to pass through people who are standing, and you go, that was never on, because you see it and you think, I wanted to get there.
Which we'll come to in the second half.
There's that kind of thing, and Ross is, you know, he's got all the other stuff brilliantly, but I think you're spot on. It's a confidence thing with it. I think what he's had is, personally, I think he probably hasn't had a proper manager throughout his career yet. I think Moyes put him in early and showed loads of confidence, and then took him
on loan and all that.
Got him out on loan, and Martinez took over, then told him he was Pele. And no matter what he'd done, he was still Pele. Instead of going, you've dipped there, he'd never take him off. Very rarely would he take him off.
I mean, he did leave him out some games in his first season, but they were more like they
were like rested.
Yeah, they felt like they were like he was resting them in games on like growing pains kind of games. But as you say, they started last season, didn't it? When the team started to drop, Ross started to drop. I'm not having a big goal. We had a poor half of football. But I think the most important thing is, like you just said, Dick, he's got a manager who'll just take him off and go, you know what, I can't sugarcoat it. He said, didn't he, after the match, he said, wasn't playing well. I had to do something. Same with James McCarthy. I had to take him off. I just had to do something.
I mean, the two differences there was obviously McCarthy thing was a tactical change, wasn't it? And he felt he needed something out there. Ross last night was just, he was having a mare, so take him off. And then he said himself, Koeman, it was two things. He wasn't playing well, and the other one was to send a message to the rest of the players in the dressing room that this is a statement. He's not playing well, and he's off, and he might be the golden, a golden boy who people look at. You come sit with me, because that's not good enough, and Ross has got to go, right, that wasn't good enough.
And it's a good message for the likes of Deulofeu, you know what I mean? Like, when he never got the start the other week, I thought, we might not see much more of Jerry if the team stays fit, but you go, he's come off the bench yesterday, and he says, you know, his touch and stuff was questionable, but he definitely made a difference, and he's showing to the manager, he was like, I'm willing to make these runs and close people down, and he's, you know, he looks like he's learning kind of more. So
I think the difference is, I think in the, not necessarily in the players, because I think Ross is still better than Deulofeu. I just think where Deulofeu does it, you won't get hurt as much as in with the ball, but where Ross loses the ball, it tends to flip the game, and suddenly the opposition are on the attack. Whereas where Jerry makes mistakes, you go, well, you don't mind that because it's in the final third. I don't mind Ross making mistakes in the final third. It's when he makes mistakes on the halfway line, and suddenly the opposition.
He just needs to simplify his game.
Yeah.
There needs almost to be a way of playing in our half and a way of playing in their half, and he's got to, that penny's got to drop. I'll take a chance on the edge of their box, because that's how you get goals. If the team sets up rigid and organised, and you do the simple thing, it's hard. But if you do something out of the blue, that's
say that next week, you know, at the edge of our box, he's going to turn 3 people, run away and score, and we'll all go, do that every single week.
But I remember, you know, we're not necessarily the same kind of player, but I remember Gravison in his first couple of seasons, and oh my god, how frustrating he was. I remember once where he had the ball on one side of the pitch, and he tried to curl it to someone on the other side of the pitch, and it was on the halfway line, but our back four were right up, and whoever we played nicked it on the halfway line. I got a clear run, and just thinking, what are you doing? Next season, suddenly he found a niche, and the next minute he's playing for Real Madrid. It's mad. It's just
that was one of the craziest things in the world.
Because I just think they
thought it was Lee
Carsley and Gravison. I think they thought the two were just one player.
But he did play. He was really good that season. He was really good.
Yeah.
But suddenly he was like he tweaked his position. I'm not saying they're the same player, but it doesn't take much. And I think Ross has started the season quite well, and I think he's had a lot of responsibility taken off him in what he needs to do.
Anyone can have a bad game, and he had a bad game, and he was subbed, and it was the perfect decision. It was the right decision. He brought Gerard Deulofeu in. Whatever he said at half time.
Well, it was a positive decision. But it was a positive decision, wasn't it? It was a positive decision, because as a fan, you sit there and you go, you know he needs to come off. He's playing poorly. It doesn't matter what his name is. He's playing poorly. He does make the change. Look, we're lucky that we've got decent players to make the change. Brings Deulofeu on. Doesn't just bring Deulofeu on. He makes a change of how we're playing as well. He puts Morales
in the
middle. You know, Bolasie's down on the left, Dave plays on the right, and suddenly, but obviously there's that, and there's obviously the kick up the arse he gave them at half time as well, the massive kick up the arse, because all it needed was a couple of players to just go up 5%, and that was it, and that's what happened. And suddenly, you know, we found ourselves getting in better positions, holding on to the ball in better positions,
having chances,
starting to create chances. But the big thing for me is, before we talk about that, is that we've got defenders now who can defend.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it makes it so that when you are in having a sticky game, you're not conceding goals. And that's the difference, isn't it?
That's what I wanted to say before when we were talking about the fact that we weren't playing well. We had those two. I know Sunderland didn't really do much, but Defoe's dangerous, and he had that. He got in early, didn't he, and put the one over the bar. And that was earlier. After that, Williams and Jagielka just.
I think the whole back five there is just so solid. You know what I mean? Like, Jagielka's always been a good defender, and you know, Martinez tried to turn him into this kind of, you know, Beckenbauer-esque player, and he's just not that. He's a good defender, and if he defends, he's going to play well, and I think he's been great this season. Same with Williams has come in, and he's made Funes Mori look, you know, average. Which I think
that's
he is
average.
But you know, people got up his arse last year because, you know, he was getting a game and he was playing these balls.
Because it's all about kissing and kicking Liverpool players and all that. Which people
I still think he's all right, Murray.
I think
when he sticks to just defending.
I think if Koeman can get into him, you know, he could be a really good central defender. But Williams is the Williams. You can't take him out the team. Do you mean?
No,
his leadership.
You couldn't take Adam out the team at the moment because they're just. What they do is they just don't want to concede a goal. Even when we were winning 3-0, they would not in that last minute. They were like, no, we're not conceding. We are not conceding a goal here today. This is our job. You've done your job as a forward or forwards. This is our job, not to concede, and that is the difference. They do not want to concede goals, because it's someone else's job to score goals. It's their job to not concede.
The other thing as well, and we were talking about it last night, it's Stekelenburg in goal. Now, he's not the... I think we all would have liked Everton to go and buy a goalkeeper, right? But the biggest compliment I can pay him is I don't even pay any attention to him.
No, that's it.
It's just, he's just... I'm just comfortable with him, so it's like really relaxing. You know,
I think the thing people forget about him is he was the Dutch number 1. Do you know what I mean? He's
played in a World Cup final.
He played in the World Cup final. He obviously at that stage, someone he's got the ability to be a world class keeper. He had a few bad. You know, he was injured when he was at Fulham. He wasn't playing regularly. You know, Southampton. I didn't notice him last year, but they had a good season.
He played 24 games.
He must have played pretty well for them. He's come in and he's looked like above his station. You know, he's looked a lot better than any of us thought. And like even last night, you know, he only really had one thing to do, but you don't notice all the other little bits. I mean, and he's talking. I think they just talk a lot more. Like Jagielka, I seen was screaming at people, and you can't really remember him doing that much.
To be fair to Howard last season, as much as we criticised him, he was in the middle of a terrible setup.
Yeah.
And Stekelenburg's come into... What's good is Stekelenburg's come into a regime that he knows and understands, and understands how the manager works, and understands how the goalkeeper works, and all that kind of thing.
Coach, not just some
scruff. Who Martinez is paying out of his own pocket to be the Belgium.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he there?
Martinez is paying.
Has Dennis Lawrence got a job yet?
No, he's coaching basketball. No, apparently that's true. Martinez is paying for the goalkeeping coach out of his own pocket.
If you've just got 30 million.
Yeah, you're not asked, are you? You're paying everyone.
Paying
Graham Jones.
He's paying Dave Whelan to be his agent. So I was laughing. But back to the game.
But
that gave us the basis to get to half time 0-0 because that's what you have to do. That's what good sides do. If you're not playing well, don't concede. Get in, get it, tweaked, come out and have a go with them. And people have said, Sunderland are crap though, aren't they? Well, listen, he beat us 3-0 a couple of months ago with the same team. So they're not crap. You've just got to beat them. You've got to make them look crap. Everton cut them right down to size last night, and that's what you have to do in the Premier League. And the second half, we went up a notch.
Like, look at the first 4 fixtures. Do you mean the results have been right out? The Tottenham one, was 70% fit. It's a decent draw. It's a decent result. But all them other ones, as an Evertonian, you go win, middle
you expect, win, isn't it?
I mean, you expect it, and we're winning them. Yeah, and it's kind of we're all getting used to it and being like, oh, we're actually winning.
Well, I think it's important. I mean, it is important to dampen expectations. I know the table looks good, but I'm not really not that bothered. I'm not really not looking at it. And as you just said though, it's right that you look at the table and go, yes, but we should be beating them. And we should be beating them. And we should be beating Sunderland away. And it's just good we are. And last night, second half, we were so clinical. And that's what we've actually missed in the first 3 games.
Get on these two. Just think back about 6 months. We weren't beating anyone. These two sitting here. We should be beating them. It's great. I'm looking at the table every day. I don't care.
I'm not. What was different as well last night is we were so clinical. Whereas in the first 3 games, Stoke we should have been, Spurs we should have been 2-0 up. West Brom we should have won 3-1 or 4-1. Stoke we should have beaten them comfortably. And last night we finally, probably because of Lukaku and scoring goals, we've run out comfortable and we've been clinical and took the chances. And that was the difference last night. Wasn't been any difference in the other games. We just haven't took the chances. Yeah. And I suppose that's the difference with having a proper centre forward finally back in some kind of form.
What was a big thing for me last night was we just looked so powerful in that second half. We looked like a proper side last night. Yeah. We got the goal, great ball by Garner. Had to come from here.
Yeah. Well, it's their corner. Yeah. Jerry does great. He actually wins a 50-50, which was hilarious listening to Carragher and Neville saying it was the first 50-50 where they seen with both players pulled out. Yeah, which he did. But he did win it, because if he hadn't won it, they're still on the attack. He wins it, he runs, and then like we were saying before, he makes a ridiculous decision. He's got 4 players and he tries to thread the hardest ball. Luckily enough, Garner is running, because he's always running. It doesn't matter where it is, he's always running. And then suddenly shows this other side of the game. He's high up the pitch, curls one into the back post, and there's Ron doing what he should have done in the first half and plants it down. And you look at all the Sunderland fans behind the goal and you're just thinking, he's been here before, haven't he? Because none of them look shocked or surprised or angry, even though just
no one even threw an arm.
They just went.
I mean, Ron had almost just scored before off the Coleman one when he stuck a foot out, and then you look and going, is it going to be one of them?
I can't get over the amount of people that deny how good Lukaku can be. Do you know what I mean? We've all seen But last year he didn't get this service. I mean, now Everton's aim when they're in the second, in their half, it looks like they're going, get the ball into Ron, let's cross it in, let's pass it in, let's get it in the box. And he wanted chances he got yesterday.
He did get a lot of
He should have scored more. But we're not going to moan about that. He scored a hat-trick. You're happy.
He said he should have scored more though.
But that's great.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he did get the service in the first half of last season because he was right up him and Deulofeu, and then all of a sudden
Deulofeu got took out the
well, that was because he
was bad at done. But he didn't speak to them. He just spoke the truth.
The manager,
he just had
after a home defeat, said it was phenomenal, and he questioned it, and he didn't see him again for 3.5 months, and then Ron stopped scoring.
Baines as well,
Baines and all that.
But he scores the first goal, and then suddenly you can see the hunger's there, and also he's looking at that thinking, I can get as many as I want against these tonight because they were that bad at the back.
They had to come out, didn't he? We went 1-0 up. They had to come out a little bit.
They were
and they left gaps, didn't they?
The gaps were
They left gaps, and Everton for 1-7 destroyed. I mean, he hits the bar with a turn.
Yeah, that was enough.
Well,
you're going for.
He should have. Well, he actually probably should have scored before that when he did brilliantly on both. He pinned the centre back and spun both times, and he fell out, and then Garner got the shot off, and then he does it again and smacks the bar, but then they went up the other end, and I'm thinking, oh no, these are not going to nick one again. And then straight away we're back to the, and it was Bolasie, and it's what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. It's the difference between having, we think that Alice is fast and we think Deulofeu is fast, but you watch them in a standing start against the fullback, you can't beat them. Bolasie can he can give the fullback 2 yards and he still beats them, and he's got so much ability in his crossing, because his crossing, he's an old-fashioned crosser. He's not trying to put it on anyone's head, he's just trying to put it in the box, in an area. That's what wingers used to do. That's how wingers used to make their living. Put it in, get it in the box, that's your job, and get and there should be 2 centre forwards in there, 1 near post, 1 far post, and one of them should get the head on it. And he put it in. I don't know what the Sunderland defenders were doing, because there was 2 centre backs. I think Agent Kone was leaving Ron alone, and Ron gets another easy header, and it's.
He had to score it. He was in the right place.
No.
A bullet header. Great play from Bolasie though. He stood, like you say, stood the fella up, knocked it past him, put a great cross in.
It's like the amount of times you've got a winger. For years you go, beat a man. Alright, Deulofeu can do it, but he does, he gets in there by a line and tries to, and usually his last ball's a bit crap. But he only needs half a yard. Do you know what I mean? And as you say, the pace, and it's not the pace in a sprint, it's with the ball. The way he drags the ball with him almost, and it's in his feet that people don't know whether to go in or out.
And also when you see the size of him,
he's powerful.
Players bounce off him when he's got the ball. He's got that protection. He used to be one of those players you looked at and went, he always played well against us, and you always think, why isn't he playing well against other teams? Because he always seems to play well against us in Liverpool, and then he'd have a little bit of a drive. I think he scored an hat-trick actually at the Stadium of Light last season, but so far, I've been impressed. I mean, first half he looked like the frustrating player, because he is frustrating at times. He did that little trick,
but you trade that in. Do you know what I mean? You trade that in, the amount of frustrating players we've had. Do you know what I mean? For me, James McPartland was frustrating, and he's nowhere near as good as Bolasie. Do you know what I mean? It's like you trade that in for the fact that he's got the quality, and it's in there.
I was delighted when we got him. I said at the time, I wanted him for years, because he's got that power, he's got that directness.
Also, when you cross into Connor Wickham.
And Shama.
How many assists are you actually going to get?
I know, that's what I said when we signed him. I said it's not it. He's shooting, and he did it in this game again. He did it in this game again. How hard can I hit this ball? That's what he's like. His shooting is terrible, and I will say that.
R2.
I know, he's no finesse. There's no finesse at all.
He just drives.
He shoots like he crosses.
He hit one in the second half, didn't he?
That was a good shot. That was a good
save. And the keeper made a good save. And just do that. Shoot on target. Don't just
one out of 6. Like the kid in the Mighty Ducks. 1 out of 6.
But we go 2 up, and that was the bit that impressed me. Then we steamed away from them. We went 3, and it could have been 4. I mean, the third goal was just absolutely unreal, because that starts in our half with Gareth Barry, Garner and Jags doing triangles for about 10 minutes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Garner and Barry.
Fabulous play, by the way.
But fabulous play, by the way. What's going on with that Yannick Bolasie song last night? I want the other one, but leave him to it. They just kept control of the ball, so they smothered any. I know we scored very quickly, but Barry and Gay just smothered them. They got the ball and they don't lose the ball. I mean, Ghana's stats at the end of the game were just absolutely phenomenal.
Can you just stick to Ghana?
No, I like mixing it up.
Gay,
I like mixing it up.
Call him whatever. He's the
I like
best in the
mixing it
world.
up. He's boss. But they just smothered it, didn't they? And just and Ghana Gay addresses private player.
My guy.
His stats, because when we bought him, we were told, yeah, he's great in the tackle, but so I remember someone actually saying his tackle record was so good because of the amount of times he lost the ball on his first touch. Well, I haven't seen sort of any evidence of that.
His touch is brilliant. So, like, it's comparable to Barry's. You know what I mean, like the way they both take the ball in the midfield and shift onto the other foot or shift away from someone.
Quick-footed as well.
Always wants the ball up. Yeah. Wherever he is, if you look, if a player's got it, he's always coming to get the ball. Yeah. Last night, and he was deep, he was up, he was brilliant last night. What
I like is he allows Barry to play, which allows Barry to take the ball off the centre backs, which means the centre backs don't have to do any arsing about. You know, you don't need John Stones stepping out the back four because suddenly you've got Barry. But last season you had Barry doing the protecting role as well. But Barry doesn't have to do that anymore. So suddenly everyone now's got the job they really have to do, which centre backs not the creative midfield.
Gareth Barry, I don't think anyone realised just how good a footballer he is.
Amazing
on the ball.
He's been the best. Like last season, he was our best player. He had that one season where, like, you know,
the second
no one was very good anyway that season, but like he wasn't that great.
But he's played a lot of that.
What a player. When we first signed him, and all the Man City fans were like, I can't believe we've let him go. That says a lot. You know, they just won the league. You know,
But last season, I thought he was brilliant. But, and I'd said this a few times, I didn't want him playing that role, which I want. He was trying to last season. He was trying to. Well, the manager was trying to play him in the way Guy plays, which you can see the difference now. It makes it all fits in now, and I don't quite understand why that manager didn't see that. So, but anyway,
he didn't see a lot of things.
Didn't see. But that goal, the third goal, the little triangles, it was ping, 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 and then Morales just.
Morales into
Deulofeu.
But Deulofeu, what he done really well was he just snapped it back
straight away. And to be honest, like, because I mean, I was working away, so I was watching it on the telly, but the camera never even picked up the fact that it was going. Do you know what I mean? Like that it was going through to Lukaku. It was kind of you watching it. It was, and it looked like Morales has passed it back to Deulofeu, but it was shit. And like my instant reaction was off, and then it caught up, and I was like, oh, he's through. Like, I almost couldn't believe Everton had carved that out, and also you just knew he was going to slot it. Listen, if that had been 0-0, I'm thinking Lukaku missing that. But after 2 goals.
But after scoring 2 goals, that's where Lukaku just suddenly becomes on fire. His
finish was brilliant.
Yeah, but you expect nothing less from Lukaku when he's on it. Yeah. When you know how many goals last season when he was in that run did you think expect nothing less. That's a striker for you. That is a proper striker. When they're hot, everything's going in. Yeah. But we've seen at West Brom, second game of the season, when he got through, it's exactly the same, but suddenly they clam up. Yeah. I suppose that's the difference between an absolute, the best of the best. Like you look at Suarez at the moment, and you just think.
But that's his first season, Liverpool, 7 goals.
Yeah,
bollocks.
No, what I'm saying is
though, he was, but then he went up.
What I'm saying is that when you hit that level,
Ibrahimovic. Yeah. Do you mean he's just done it everywhere, constantly, and you know he's come to Man U and you think, oh, he's a bit old. It's just those goals are goals. You know what I mean? I
know when people criticise him, they go, he's cocky. That's just self motivation, self belief. So that when he walks on the pitch, you know, I know we all like Suarez, but secretly we all think, he's boss, isn't he? Because he just walks on the pitch and goes, I know everyone hates me, but I'm going to shove it down your throat. And that's what we've always said about Lukaku. He needs that
arrogant. You want him to be angry.
You want him to be that nasty.
But I think what impressed me about him last night was the goals were brilliant. You know, we nearly scored. He could have had 5 easily, 6. He missed the one he curled and the keeper caught at a 3. And I thought it was in the top corner. Keeper made a good save. But it was his work rate. He was running around. He was teeing other players up. He was getting stuck, and he ran. Deulofeu gave a ball away. Lukaku ran back and ran for him, and he put a performance like that in Stoke around.
He looked fit.
He looked fit.
He looked fit.
But this fella won't allow him.
No, that's what I'm saying. He looked fit. He actually has benefited from the international weekend, believe it or not, because I thought he was going to come back with muscle wastage or something from training with Martinez, but he looks fit.
He's actually said he
enjoyed the training.
Koeman's Koeman said, I've heard him say 3 or 4 times, the 2 goals he scored for Belgium were massive for him. Because now he scored 5 in 2 games. So from his point of view, it doesn't matter who he's playing for. He scored 5 in 2 games. He's absolutely flying. So you just hope he continues now, because when he's hot,
Yeah.
and that'll be, you want your goal scorers to be flat track bullies. You want them to get 2 or 3s against these teams. Tony Cottee made a living out of it. He used to score 2s and 3s against crap teams. He used to throw the odd goal in against good sides, but that's what you need to be a centre forward. That's what gets your numbers up. Scoring 2s and 3s, and I'll go back to someone Suarez. Suarez used to score an attic against Norwich every time he played them, and 2s against all kinds of. And then people who say about Suarez doesn't do it in the big games, and that's what you need to be a striker.
At the end of the day, it's numbers as a forward. You score, the goal looks massive. When you're not scoring, it's tiny. You start thinking about what you're doing. Lukaku now Saturday won't think about it when the ball comes to his feet. It'll just be instinct, and that's the thing. When he's on that form, it gives everybody else, because Middlesbrough will be terrified of him at the weekend, because he's the danger man now, isn't he? Yeah. Then you've got Bolasie, and you've got Deulofeu, you've got Morales, and you've got Barkley. Valencia might be on the bench, you know what I mean, to come on and do a run. So but I'm saying all of a sudden you've gone from having one option, you've got 3, 4 and 5, and that's a good side, isn't it? And, Deulofeu last night, for all of his people are criticising he's the shit and things like that, he made such a difference, because he got the ball down, ran at them, and he was just pushing them back all the time. He was terrified. It allowed Morales to be cleverer in that number 10 role, link up with Rom. I mean, the one where Rom goes through and screws it wide with his right foot, he should just pop it off. It was the same move again there at the end. He gets threaded, I can't remember who put him through, but he gets slid in again brilliantly, and he's through, and he does a nice little step over, and if he just flicks it back, Morales has got to tap him for 4-0, and
would you want?
I wouldn't have
exactly. He's in the mould, then, isn't he?
That's the difference. But Deulofeu has the straight run, and it's a great ball. Bolasie, I think, has placed the ball over the top, and Jerry's in, and if his touch is a bit better, he scores. They get a good block in. Then he has the other one that deflects just wide.
The good thing about all them things like the touching that Koeman mentioned. Yeah. I mean, Koeman picks out those little moments, and he said, if Jerry's touch is better there, we score 4, and you're like, if you were Deulofeu, you'd be like, fucking hell.
But he did. He come off.
But get me touch.
The first thing he said when he came off, on Sky, and they were like, oh, good, we went. Second half was good. Don't say it was a good game. Second half was good. First
clean
half
sheet, 3-0 away win, joint second in the league.
Only conceded 2 goals,
and he's still moaning about the thing. And that, to me,
it made me laugh.
That's the level.
I heard Sue Everton.
I heard someone. It was funny because I heard someone on the radio last night talking about it before the game. He went, "Oh, I'm getting a bit worried though, because there's just not enough," and he was saying this with a straight face. I think he might be a little bit too dour. There's not enough positivity, and I was thinking, fuck off. The things I've had to listen to. I don't want to name names. It wasn't, I don't want to name names. Okay. It was on Radio Merseyside. It wasn't Ronnie. But it was like, what have you been listening to for the last 3 years? My ears have been bleeding with positivity. I want a man to say how it is, and then when a player gets on the pat on the back, then they're gonna think, no, I must be great today.
I think he's been pretty positive. It's nice to see him when we've won, and he goes, we alright, we weren't great in the first half, but we won a game. That's great. I mean, second half was great. You go, yeah, good, and they must all go like that. Hey, boss, we done. Second half was good, wasn't it?
You know what?
Second half was good. Yeah, well done. And they go,
we're ready to go.
The other thing about it is though, he could easily have come out and gone, boss, second half, weren't we? Because I made that change.
Phenomenal.
I made that change. See that when I make that sub, and he's suddenly boss. He could do that. A lot of managers would. I can imagine one who'd do that. His name's Pards. You can imagine him. He'd be like, "See that sub?"
But he done it at West Brom. They asked him about the sub at West Brom, and he went, "Yeah, it worked, but
it was my fault."
It also showed me anyway that I was wrong.
Some managers will come out.
But that's why the other fella would never do it, because he would never want to admit a mistake.
Sweet like
Coney's left wing.
He would never ever want to admit a mistake. And the thing what's impressed me with Koeman is, it's like you just said, he says it like we do, and that is good enough for me. You come out and you go, boss result, what a great away when that 3, we could have won 5 or 6 there, a proper fan, chances. That's exactly what he says. First 45 minutes was undoubtedly the worst we've had under him, because we have started quite well this season, but he corrected it, and it ended up as a positive result. It's another clean sheet. I mean,
well, as I said before, after we still went for more goals. Rom said himself he should have got more goals. Deulofeu should have scored. I think he got in on the right, and
that was a good challenge that actually made. It went for a corner.
He put it wide. No, but he could have
put himself.
He doesn't clean. He doesn't. You think to yourself, just if you get a better first touch, you're in on goal. Like the one you said before when he went over the top. His first touch took him like 3 miles around. Yeah. But what was great was we controlled the ball. There was no nervousness once we'd gone 3-0 up. The defenders all wanted to defend. The full-backs haven't stretched themselves too far. They've just done their job. Gay and Barry are just controlling the ball in midfield, and it's sound. And then Tom Davies comes on, and he's snapping at everyone's heels, and he wants the ball, and he's making sure he's winning tackles, and he's
breaking into the box.
What's happened to? By the way, I don't know how he's injured or something cleverly.
He's injured. He is injured. Yeah, I know.
Because I thought, maybe he's just.
He was supposed to be back for this game, but he is injured, as is Darren Gibson.
I knew Gibson was.
Yeah, Tom Cleverley is actually injured.
McCarthy,
yeah. I don't think he didn't really say much about Tom Cleverley, but he is injured. I've seen him outside the main stand after the Stoke game, so he was supposed to be back. So he might be back, and it might just be a case of there's no room for you, mate, because actually
I think probably, like Oviedo was bombed out last night, wasn't he? He's going to struggle to get back in. So
he's always been a cover left back for me, and he had them few games where he came in and he played well. But you're not saying a fit Bainesy doesn't start ahead of him every time. And he's not a left winger any day of the week. So
this is where players like Baines come into their own, because they're using all their experience now. It's not. We've all got to accept at some point that the player we had in the peak not always going to be, and what happens next. And you see a lot of players who can't change, and they look lost. Whereas some players adapt, and suddenly Baines is experienced. And one thing that people say about Baines is he can't defend. Defend as good as anyone.
He's brilliant. He was brilliant. People were saying last night, no, he stops us going forward. He's brilliant. His left foot's brilliant. He had everything under control. He helped Bolasie out. He went on the overlap. He took back in.
I don't remember them getting down the wings at all.
It was early on that one where Januzaj flicked it over his head. It never happened again. That was it. In the first half, he shut it down. That was it. And that's what you're gonna get, aren't you? Good defenders, you'll do it once and you'll go, right, well, you won't do that again. And it never happened again.
Same with Williams and Jagiel. I mean, I know it was like a deflection that took the ball over the.
It was offside as well.
It was offside.
It was offside.
Like,
you can't defend.
They were like,
you can't defend offsides, can you? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. You it's like when Chelsea scored the bleeding winner against the equaliser last year in 3-3. It was, if you're 3 yards offside and someone scores, what can you do? You've done your job as a defender. So
it was very, very impressive. Without, we're not a team from.
Are you saying we're going to win the league?
Baz is sitting here thinking
last time we opened up against Spurs and West Brom, we won the league. That's all I'm saying.
No, but it's good.
It's been a good start. Remember the omens we had for last year's semi-final? Everything was like, this is it.
I'm made up because what's been good this season is we've started. Spurs was a tough opening game, but opening games are always, to be honest, no one wants to lose, and if they get it, especially if you're the away team, because Spurs probably weren't too bothered. The last 3 games, it's been a brilliant exercise of growing and getting fitter. If it'd been harder 3 games, then that's where you could have put holes in it. So it's good, but I'm not sitting here going, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, because 2 of the teams we've beaten are in the bottom 3 at the moment, and they are crap.
We haven't played anyone yet, and that's going to be the test. But as we were saying before, these are the teams we have to beat.
Exactly.
And we're beating them, so builds confidence. You go into those bigger games and you go, all right, let's see how we get on against the likes of City and stuff.
But that's it, isn't it? Because we've got to all remember how bad we were, and pre-season actually wasn't that good either. And I was starting to feel a little bit not worried in terms of we hadn't got the right man, just how long it was going to take. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take. I wasn't sure. No, I just wasn't sure how long. But these games have helped us accelerate that process. Whereas if we'd had a tougher start, now Middlesbrough's was not going to be easy. Palace is not going to be easy. Bournemouth's not going to be easy. But you like to think by the time we get to Man City, we will be like fully up to speed, and all those new players on. And
listen, Man City had played no one till the weekend. Man United
I don't know one. Yeah.
You know, you can't. For me, I don't think there's no easy games in the Premier League. I just don't believe it. And away
There's
from
easier
home,
games, though.
there might be easier games, but we're not up to full speed, so that makes the game a difficult game. You know, to keep clean sheets in the Premier League away from home is very, very tough. You know, we've shut them up. You can only beat what's in front of you. I'm not predicting we're going to be in the top 3 or something like that. We started really, really well. The players are taking up, but I always felt, and I said this in the summer, people were far too negative about Everton, and people who should have known better. That there's a lot of good players in that Everton side. It might be brilliant players, but there's a lot of good players, and there's a side there, and they've been totally and utterly mismanaged for 2 years.
Well, we always said, didn't we? I mean, like, this is the best squad. This is the best squad, you know, and it seems like we say that every year. This is the best squad we've had since those days, and it's like, you know, you can never compare it to that, but it was always a better squad and always a better squad. But you know, we were just mismanaged. I mean, no one wants to play. By the second half of the season, they weren't playing for him.
No,
I mean,
It's very, very evident now that no one was playing for him.
No one likes him. Do you know what I mean? The fact that everyone's laughing, the fact that Belgium now. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it shows.
The country, like, they must feel stupid. All the Belgian fans. You know, looking at that, the abuse they're getting.
I just think he's come here. You look at it from last year, we got rid of Stones. You know, Stones have moved on because he wanted to move on. Good luck to the kid, but I know I'd rather have it the minute, and that's Williams, because he makes us more solid. The keeper's as a step up from Joel, so that's made us a little bit stronger. Bolasie's better than anything we had in terms of consistency, in terms of hard work and giving it an outlet. You know, Garner's Garner.
Even Valencia, I know, like, it's not, you know, it didn't really spark the imagination of a lot of Evertonians, but he's better than Coney. I mean,
I'll wait and see on that one.
No, he's better than Coney.
I'll wait and see.
I've got no problem in saying he's better than Coney.
He's far better than
He's
Coney.
better than Nias is better than Coney.
But I don't think Coney should be the bar.
No, but that's circumstantial.
I don't think he should be the bar. I don't.
Well, of course he shouldn't, but
it's an improvement.
No, it's an improvement.
You bring Coney off the bench and you know, he might hold the ball up once or fall over twice. You don't know what I mean, but
he had a shot last night, didn't he? Again.
Yeah,
he cut in and had a shot. He loves that little cut in, like Yeovil, didn't he?
Yeah, but Yeovil. That was the level.
That was the thing.
That is the level. Yeah, happy days. As I say, I'm not.
Great.
I am just enjoying winning.
That's what it is.
Winning and you know, because I'll be honest, you know, at half time I was sitting. This is not very good, is it? But
you're gonna have those games.
But I like Ross. Hopefully, like Ross Barkley, it's just a poor half. It's not how it is. It was just a poor half.
Are we Barcelona? No, we're not. So therefore, all right. Are we Man City? No, we're not. So therefore, we're gonna have these games when we don't perform. If our players could play 100% all of the time, we'd walk the league, wouldn't we? And the reason is we're not going to walk the league is because our players aren't consistent enough.
There you go.
That's it.
So that's it.
Still joint second.
We're all joint second. We're only alphabetically from second place.
Second.
Yeah, second.
I'm enjoying it today.
Yeah. So tell us what you think in the comments. We're all pretty happy. We're all pretty positive the way it's going. Big thanks for Chris for jumping on a private jet. Just to pay for it yourself, like Lukaku and Morales.
Nah, I paid it off years ago. So
yeah,
that's all like
the Leah, just in the car park.
Just there.
In the car park. Yeah, he wouldn't, because we're in like not far from Speak here, but that's why he's come. So
my mum and dad's car. That's what it is.
But that's what he calls it.
Yeah, so we're all happy. In the comments, tell us what you think. Thanks for watching. See you later. Before you leave this video, I've got something to say, right? David France, the legend that is David France, has got a new book out. Dr. Evan himself. It is Everton Crazy. It's out on the 27th of September. It is his autobiography. This is a man that lives in America and used to commute from America with his season ticket to watch Everton games. He's some of the greatest stories about Everton you've ever heard. He had the Everton collection, the biggest football collection of the world, of all the items from Everton that he's donated to the Everton collection. The man is an absolute legend. You've seen him on the show, you've heard his stories, you can read his stories now. So make sure you get over to Toffee Web, NSNO websites to order his book. It's out on the 27th of September. He'll be here with us that week to do a couple of shows with him. We're going to be doing a live Q&A with him in the Winslow on the 8th of October. It's International Week, there's nothing going on. make sure you join us for that. But make sure you pre-order this book. Everton Crazy, honestly. The man should be the chairman of Everton Football Club. He is so fanatic about Everton Football Club. His whole life is intertwined with Everton Football Club. Like our own, like all of us who love Everton Football Club. This guy has got some of the best stories. He's mixed with some of the all-time greats and has been privileged to had many a journey with Everton Football Club. You can read all these stories in his book. Honestly, you'll not be disappointed. He's an absolute Everton fanatic and has got so much to back it up as well. So make sure you check this out. Everton Crazy. It's Dr. David Francis' autobiography about his life involved with Everton Football Club. Get over to, as I say, Toffee Web, NSNO website. You can buy them on there, buy from there. Go and do it, please, because this man is an Everton legend. He's not a player, he's not a coach, he wasn't the owner, but he is an Everton legend. Go and check it out.